Now, your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we are looking at a temperature of 77 degrees and a dew point of 73. It's a little muggy out there, but it's not too terribly bad, and the temperature is mild. Could be certainly at this time of year in the 80s, so I'll take a 77. Heat index comes in at about 78, so there is enough moisture in the air to talk about heat indexes. We are looking at a fairly clear sky out there, although from time to time we get banks of clouds that kind of pass on through. Otherwise, it's going to be a quiet start to the day. 7 a.m. temperature will come in at about 78 degrees. By noon, it's going to be a scorcher. With all that sunshine out there and little chance of rainfall, we're looking at 90 by the time we hit noon. And then we'll have a prolonged period, I think, of temperatures that'll be warm in the 90s this afternoon because we're not going to see a lot of cooling rains around to break the heat. So as we head into the afternoon, watch our temperatures climb to about 92 degrees. We'll have about a 20%, that's it, chance of a shower. It'll come near the coastline first early on, and then all the rain chance drifts inland, what little rain chance there is, as the sea breeze kind of clears the coastline. 7 p.m. temperature comes in at about 87 degrees. Should be a nice evening, actually. Should be pretty. We have a little bit of showery activity to the north of us. This is where the moisture is deeper, although that is about to change, I think. We're going to start seeing some drier air filtering southward, and that'll kind of cut down the rain chances north of us. We have some drier air in place here, and that's going to kind of limit the number of storms that we see today. Maybe as we head into tomorrow and the day after, we might start to increase our moisture just a little bit and up the rain chance, but certainly this morning is just perfect for your drive time commute. Should have no issues going to or coming from work today. There's Chris. It's really developed a nice outflow. It's kind of symmetric. It has some pretty good thunderstorm development, but Hurricane Hunter aircraft have checked it out, and it really hasn't strengthened all that much. In fact, some drier air may be kind of trying to work its way in, which would limit the number of storms that it builds around its center and therefore its strength. Still, I think it's got a pretty good chance of becoming a hurricane a little bit later this afternoon, especially with a little heating. We'll see how it goes. Otherwise, it's not going to be a problem for us by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, some of the drier air around the periphery, which is what this tan color is being drawn down into the state of Florida by the circulation around Chris. So no issues whatsoever. And of course, way out here, we have what's left of Beryl. Beryl, we were talking about last week, became a hurricane. Now it's just a remnant storm. It's basically a cluster of showers is all it is. Has no tropical characteristics, and it won't do much more than just bring some showers to the Leeward Islands. Now, as it lifts north, there's the potential once it gets out here in the nearer waters for some slight redevelopment before it's whisked out to sea. So still no threat to the United States. We'll keep an eye on it still. It's not going to write it off completely yet. So we have Chris. Chris has 60-mile-an-hour winds. It's now moving south, kind of sinking south. That's what it's going to do over the next day or two. It's just going to kind of meander around here, wobbling around, going north, going south. Eventually, it's going to get picked up by a trough of low pressure and rapidly whisked out into the colder waters of the Labrador Currents, where it will just die out pretty quickly. That'll be by this weekend. So we'll be talking about it all week long, keeping an eye on it. But basically, all we're going to see this storm do, most likely, is produce some high surf rip currents along the mid-Atlantic coastline and maybe a little beach erosion. That's about it. So for us, Chris spins. Its circulation brings us a nice dry wind, and we enjoy a couple of days of less than average rainfall. Northwest wind coming in at about 10 knots today, becoming lighter as we head into the evening hours, and 92 our high today. Tomorrow, day after, rain chances coming in at about 20 or 30%. Maybe by late midweek or midweek, we start to see an uptick in our rainfall chances temporarily. And then as we head into the weekend, I think a 30 or 40% chance of rainfall will do it there as well.